The Ripple vs. SEC does not become boring at all. What interesting stuff did Hogan reveal now? And what impact will it have on the case? Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out. Also, make sure to keep on watching because today is the day we will reveal the lucky winner of our giveaway. And maybe it is you. Welcome back XRP Army. Judge Sarah Net Byrne responded to two ongoing motions in the SEC vs. Ripple Labs dispute, both of which were submitted on the same day, immediately following the court's approval of the Securities and Exchange Commission's request to extend the discovery process until January 2022. Specifically, Ripple Labs and Chris Larsen attempted to compel the Securities and Exchange Commission to supplement its responses to 11 of its interrogatories, as well as 2 of Larsen's interrogatories, in one of the petitions filed in this case. According to the document, the SEC also filed a protective order, requesting that the agency be relieved of the burden of responding to 29,947 distinct requests for admission, which would otherwise fall on the agency. Judge Net Byrne has now partially granted and partially denied both motions, with the latter being partially granted. Following the court's order, the SEC was directed to reply to Ripple's interrogatories and to reveal the specific circumstances of the investment contract that was formed from XRP sales. The order was revised, as a result of which, by the way, what is your opinion on these recent decisions? Let us know in the comment section down below. Ripple's interrogatory is relevant and precise, and will clarify whether the SEC contends that the terms of any contract identified in response to Ripple's interrogatory number 1 created an expectation of profits by the purchaser of XRP. Accordingly, defendant's motion regarding Ripple interrogatory number 2 is granted, and the SEC must supplement its response to interrogatory number 2 to identify any specific contractual terms and not just implicit and explicit promises as previously identified. Another point that has to be answered is whether or not the SEC feels that efforts by Ripple were required to effect any increase in the price of XRP. The court granted the bulk of the defendant's applications to compel replies to interrogatories, with the exception of one, according to the record. Chris Larsen moved that XRPL be made fully operational as soon as feasible, and the motion was carried unanimously. According to Judge Net Byrne, it was denied without prejudice on the grounds that it was too vague, and the parties were told to discuss on clarifying circumstances. The Securities and Exchange Commission's motion for protective orders has been partially granted and partially denied, pending further action by the court. The judge granted protection to the defendant's 28,849 RFAs after stating that it is difficult to view this stunt as anything other than theater. The order was revised, as a result of which, the motion for a protective order is granted on burden grounds. Having granted the motion to compel a response to Ripple's interrogatory number 2, the protective order is also granted as cumulative and duplicative of another form of admissible evidence. Because of the filing of answers by the SEC and Ripple, it is possible that the timeline for the case will be prolonged as a result of the extension of the deadline for discovery. As a result, the deadline has been extended in order to allow the parties to complete the expert depositions and improve their preparations for the trial. Of the most recent developments in the SEC court case, there is also an excellent video on the Legal Briefs YouTube channel that explores the subject matter in greater depth. Comment, XRP Army, if you believe this case will be won by Ripple. We're all definitely hoping for a delay because the judge feels Ripple is surely prevailing, and because the plaintiff is a well-known government agency, she is taking measures. Essentially, with her most recent edict, she's giving them the choice of laying all of their cards on the table and seeing who comes out on top. As the adage goes, okay, you've gotten your extension, now prove your case, even though we all know there isn't a smoking gun in this particular case. The SEC is essentially throwing everything they have at this scenario in order to prolong the crisis for as long as possible in order to maintain their own integrity and maintain their own reputation. In the absence of any more maneuvering, the corporation will be compelled to either reach a settlement with Ripple on terms acceptable to Ripple, Clarity, or face the repercussions of their conduct. However, even if it isn't ideal, the SEC now has only a slim chance of winning an appeal because everything has been laid out in front of them. Do you have a sense of how long you believe the lawsuit will be in effect? Jeremy Hogan, an XRP-friendly attorney, has provided the following detailed response. What's clear from this motion to extend discovery out 2 more months is that the SEC filed this $1.4 billion lawsuit without setting aside the resources to prosecute it. If the judge grants it, the main parts of the case won't be decided until March to May of 22. My instinct, without having read Ripple's reply, is that the judge splits the baby and provides an additional month to expert discovery. Judges never want an appellate court to hear lack of due process arguments on a case, he went on. Now it is time to reveal who is the lucky winner of our giveaway. And the winner is Lucas Davis. Congratulations, Lucas. So, XRP Army, let's all congratulate Lucas in the comment section below. And now let's get back to the video. Despite the fact that the SEC versus Ripple action has already been prolonged once, it is possible that it may be extended again, this time for a potential summary judgment extension. In his statement, Mr. Hogan noted that the action will most likely be completed in the first part of 2022, or at the very least by the summer. At the earliest, the matter will be concluded by the summer. However, the trial judge's decision is the law, while the appeal is pending, which might take 9 to 12 months. Do you agree that this is pretty worrying? If yes, then make sure to like this video. The case against Ripple is progressing, but the cryptocurrency is gaining support from a lot of influential personalities, including Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's firm, Berkshire Hathaway, has made a $500 million investment in Nubank, a digital bank based in Brazil that is controlled by Buffett. This bank, which has operations throughout Latin America and the Caribbean, is the largest financial technology bank in the region by assets. As of 2013, it has engineering offices in Berlin, Argentina, and Mexico City in addition to its headquarters in Berlin. It is a member of the RippleNet cryptocurrency network. The bank just recently revealed its intention to make the investment. When Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway revealed its $500 million investment in RippleNet, the announcement of the collaboration between Nubank and RippleNet was made nearly at the same time as the investment announcement. If the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, fails to articulate a relationship between the 3 more documents asked by Ripple and its decision-making process, Ripple contends that the SEC has failed to defend itself against the charges raised by the agency. The following is the sequence of events. Accordingly, defendant's motion regarding Ripple interrogatory number 2 is granted, and the SEC must supplement its response to interrogatory number 2 to identify any specific contractual terms and not just implicit and explicit promises as previously identified. According to Novogratz, the digital asset, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology sectors are diversified financial services and investment management innovator in the digital asset, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology sector. What do you think about the latest news on the Ripple vs. SEC case? When do you think it will end? Let us know in the comment section. If you want to continue to know about XRP, we have got 2 videos waiting for you on the end screen to check out. Make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Kindly note that prices of cryptocurrencies frequently change, so by the time you watch this video, it might have changed to a whole new value. The information provided in this video does not constitute investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, or any other sort of advice, and you should not treat any of the content as such. The content in this video is for educational purposes only and hence should not be considered financial advice. Do conduct your due diligence and consult your financial advisor before making any investment decisions.